Muslims don't have cars? Yeah, which Muslim country has a car? You know, I've seen Proton, I think, in Malaysia. Nice big car, mashallah. Small car, but when you go in, it's very roomy. Yeah, it's a nice car. But, you know, they don't sell it here. You're driving a German car, you drive an American car, you drive a British car, you're driving, so you just can't boycott. Yes.
Sorry, I don't want to...
Brother, you can ask me later on, brother.
It'll be the last time I'll comment on this. But, I mean, a lot of Americans boycott Nestle for their policies.
Sorry?
A lot of Americans boycott Nestle for their policies in Africa.
Yes.
I mean, it's not... I'm not suggesting we should boycott the West. But if Americans are doing that, it puts us into shame. If we know some companies that are openly anti-Islamic, say like Marks and Spencer, for example, are openly supporting Zionism. I mean, these are the ones that I would not condemn anybody who does buy from them. But for myself,
great, Akhi, for you, people are listening to. For me, every Tom, Dick and Harry listens to me. I'm in a different position. I cannot give an advice that will affect a lot of people. There are Muslims that work in Marks and Spencer, right? There are Muslims that are directly affected by that company, that have direct relations with the company. I cannot say anything that will affect a person because my situation is a bit different from yours. What you're saying is correct. I'm not against what you're saying. Correct, Akhi? But I cannot give an advice that will affect the Muslim community here. I'm a responsible person over this Muslim community. And I'm looking at all of 1,000 different faces and 1,000 different situations. And I cannot give a recommendation to someone that will adversely affect their life. Plus, my brother, you are living in a society here. You're surrounded by people of a different faith. And you cannot be so militant. You cannot be so militant, ya akhi. I mean, you know, look what has happened in Bosnia. I mean, it's not that far away. Look what's happened in Kosovo. It's not that far away. Look what is happening elsewhere in the world. I don't want that you leave England in a coffin. I want that you leave England for a holiday, yeah? But I don't want you to leave England in a coffin. Do you understand what I mean, akhi? Now, you're from Makkah, but I don't want you to go and be buried in Makkah in a coffin. I want you to go there for Hajj, not for burial, okay? So please. Jazakallah khair. Yes, louder as well. Yes. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Do you have to pay zakat on gold that you wear? The ulama have differed on this topic of whether to pay zakat on gold that is worn. As for gold that is rented out, of course, all the ulama are agreed that zakat needs to be paid on that. As for gold that is worn, such as ornaments, such as rings, such as jewelry, then the most correct opinion is that it must be paid. And this is the opinion of the Hanafi ulama, and also one opinion in the Hanbali madhab. As for the vast majority of ulama, such as the Shafi'i madhab and the Maliki and the correct opinion in the Hanbali madhab, then they say that zakat on gold and silver that is worn doesn't have to be paid. The correct opinion is that it has to be paid. This is based on many different authentic hadith. That Rasulullah ﷺ once came up to a woman, and she had a child in her arms, and the child had a small gold bracelet. And Rasulullah ﷺ said, "Have you paid the zakat from that?" And she said, "No, ya Rasulullah." And Rasulullah ﷺ said, "Will you be happy that on the day of judgment Allah will make it a ring of fire for her for you on the day of judgment?" And so she became afraid. And so she took off the bracelet and gave it to Rasulullah ﷺ straight away. But this is an authentic hadith in Tirmidhi and others. Imam Tirmidhi, rahimahullah, he reported this hadith and then he said, وَلَا يَصِحُّ حَدِيثٌ فِي هَذَا الْبَابِ. There is no authentic hadith in this matter at all. However, the ulama disagreed with him and said, "No, ya Imam Tirmidhi, this hadith that you reported actually is authentic." Okay, even though Imam Tirmidhi rahimahullah said it's not authentic, actually it is authentic, and there are many different proofs, many different shawahid, many different mutatabi'at, mutabi'at for this hadith, many different follow-on narrations. And so we say, therefore, really zakat from the gold that one wears must be paid. This is the best opinion. Wallahu ta'ala alam. تفضل أخي. السلام عليكم.
On the topic of the istiqamah, you are talking to the converts. I mean, there are hundreds and thousands onesie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mashallah.
Whenever come to this place, whenever hear you talking about this, what we are expecting is a scheme from ulama, not only what you said. Okay. I think all the scholars, all the ulama, when you go to anyone who can say this, but what we are missing is a scheme, okay, where it is for the whole Muslims. Now we have thousands of children who are staying at home,
Yeah.
who are wandering around,
Yes.
okay, enjoying their life.
Yes.
Okay, what is missing is not coming and encourage, because it is, I think, 1% of Swansea people listen to this lecture. What is missing is that for the scholars is to come with a scheme
Yes.
for the Muslim community.
Yes.
Okay, how we keep our children, how we keep our generation,
Yeah.
okay, on istiqamah.
Yes.
That's what is missing.
Yes.
Okay, can we pay the zakah money for schemes like this? This is what
Yeah.
Exactly missing. I
Yeah.
mean, there are hundreds and thousands of Muslims, okay,
Yeah.
during this normal year, especially in the summer, okay,
Yes.
away from the mosque, they are missing.
Yes. Correct.
That's what is important.
Right. The brother Jazakallah Khair, Jazakallah Khair, he mentioned that the things that we're talking about is not practical stuff, and what we really should be talking about when we talk about istiqamah is practical stuff, and how do we actually look after this small community that we have here. So many reverts here. How do we practically look after the children? So many children that we have, Muslim children on the streets, etc., etc. How do we look after them? And what the ulama should and the du'at should be really doing is giving us practical steps. I respect your opinion, and this is a good advice, and I will try and remember this. Wallahi, my brother, my respected brother, I spend many many nights thinking on how to actually look after my brothers and how to give them practical steps to live. I live in the West. So many tens of years I've been living in the West, and I have a family in the West, and we face the same problem. Unfortunately, this issue of aqliyat al-Islamiyya is a very major issue. Every aqliyat al-Islamiyya, every Muslim minority has their own problems. It is very difficult for a visiting da'i or a visiting scholar to actually give a step-by-step solution. Really, someone needs to live here, look at the solution, look at the situation of how people are, and then give them practical steps. So my advice really would be that, bi'idhnillah, as the time passes, as I become more understanding and knowledgeable about what the situation of every city here is, and then I will definitely tackle this. This is something which is very, very important to me, very very needed. And if you will notice, all my other talks, my talks are regarding the youth and how to uplift the youth. And Allah knows best. We have certain programs that we've started to actually do this. And unfortunately, I'm only here for a couple of hours today, for example, so it is very difficult for me to actually give you practical steps straight away. So if your respected self could ask me appropriate questions, that might help, because mashallah, you have this himmah for this ummah, to do something for this ummah over here.
Can zakat money be used for these schemes? I mean, this is what I'm asking. I'm asking not the person.
Right. Why don't you ask me a more specific question? Like you can't just say a scheme. Can zakat money be used to build a mosque? Can we?
We could take them to make a camp for them.
Right.
Okay.
Zakat money cannot be used.
Give you an example.
Right.
We have 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yes.
Okay. Can we make a program
Yes.
for the Muslim children?
Yes.
Okay, sponsor it.
Yes.
I don't know.
From the zakat money, you mean?
For zakat.
Yes.
But this is what we need direction about.
Right. Jazakallah khair. Zakat money cannot be used except for the 8 things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran. Some of the ulama have understood from the verse of the Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَفِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, to mean anything that is for the cause of Allah. So they have allowed zakat for imams in the mosques, they have allowed zakat for printing of Islamic material, they have allowed zakat for dua, they have allowed zakat for anything therefore that can be termed as fi sabilillah. However, the best and most correct opinion that is followed by most of the ulama, and that is strongest as regards the Arabic language, as regards the tafsir of the Quran, as regards the sunnah of Rasulullah, is that the zakat cannot be used except for the 8 categories that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran. That is for the musafirin, that is for the fuqara, the masakin, that is for the amirin alayha, in English let me translate, for the fuqara, for those people who are faqir, who don't even have anything to eat, the masakin, those people who are on the borderline of the society, as regards the monetary financial situations concerned, as those people who collect the zakat, those people who are fighting in the cause of Allah, those people who are gharimeen, those people who are in debt, those people who are prisoners, those people who are mu'allifat qulubihim, those people who are, if you give them money, they will accept Islam. and etc. And these are the people that zakat money can be used. As for the youth programs, and as for these community support programs, then no, zakat money cannot be used for them. Zakat money cannot be used for them. And I do emphasize this point because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not left the issue of zakat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to explain. Rather, He has explained where the zakat money should be given by Himself. This is why He has mentioned it in the Quran, in the 8 categories that I've just mentioned to you. So really, as for these youth programs, mashallah, we have other ways of raising money for that. Just from the Jumu'ah prayer, for example, we can raise a lot of money. From functions that are held, we can raise a lot of money. I know of brothers who have raised money just, for example, being in the mosque, raised hundreds of thousands of pounds in one sitting. So you can hold fund collections, etc. For that. It's quite easy to actually convince the youth. Youth don't require that much money. Youth functions don't require that much money. But as for your question, for your respected self regarding zakat money, then unfortunately we cannot use it for that. Jazakallah khair. Subhanallah Allahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.